Afternoon everyone, we're at the Church of St Bartholomew the Great this afternoon. Done this one before on a smartphone. It's very dark inside this church and a lot of it you really couldn't make out or see in the video, so I'll delete my previous videos and put a new one on of this that I've filmed today. This is much better. Cat flap there for the church cat that keeps the mice at bay. In there is the cloister, I believe. As with a lot of my filmings of churches, what I do is, because these places shut at a certain time, whereas the outside just doesn't close, so you're fine until when it gets dark. So I go inside, film first, and then part one I always film last, which is kind of arse end upwards, but it's the way I do things. So if I do the outside first, then I get less time inside. So I do it all arse end upwards. This is the cloister garden. The apartments are relatively new. That is St Bartholomew. And he holds the church in his hand. And here we'll see a little bit more of that. That's the Tudor gatehouse, that. Churchyard. They like as I always say with a lot of my videos as well, like most London churchyards, they stack a lot of the gravestones around the edge. It makes it easier to look after the place. God, freezing vent blowing out of that. Just out of there. Ooh, cold. There we have John Gillingwaite, just for one of the names of the ex-parishioners. John Flukes. Anyway, that's your past parishioners for you. Can't film too much of the churchyard because there's people in there. Obviously I don't like to film people without their consent.
Coca-Cola, you know, like
Rising Sun pub. That's Rising Sun Court, and then you've got like the architecture stuff of the church. I'll show you a bit more on the way back round. As I say, I don't like to film people without their consent, and it'll be getting pretty busy if Friday afternoon, evening time. Because you'll watch these videos in the right order. But as I say, I film inside first and outside last, so, but yeah. That's kind of the way I work. There we are. Dodgy looking character in a shell tracksuit there. I mean, the shell tracksuit in this day and age, just wearing one of those condemns you alone, doesn't it, really? I'm only joking. Bartholomew's Passage, and we are at the back, so make of that what you will. Ain't saying nothing. Ain't saying nothing. Codestone, representation of the Founders Company coat of arms. Alright, well, we're coming up to our 10-minute bit soon. With my Instagram and TikTok videos, I don't really go beyond 10 minutes. I've tried 12 and whatnot, and anything over 12 it won't upload. So, and I think it's Instagram lives. Yeah, Instagram lives, they're not that great, I must admit. Let's get out the sun. What's that? Founders Hall. This is what this place is. I couldn't remember the name of it, to be honest with you, but that's obviously the coat of arms for the old Founders Hall, and it was discovered, redone up, Lambeth 1800 it says on there, so it's an old piece just put here when the new building obviously went up. So aye. Nice old church. And our man in the orange tracksuit is still there, orange and blue tracksuit is still there, so fuck it. You can see I've got a camera, so turn his back if he doesn't like. So yeah, hope you've all enjoyed the ones today. A lot of my stuff is history, well, hence my page name, but the occasional explore when I can get them, but I don't drive and transportation is difficult for me, so I would like to do Watford air raid shelters soon, but it's getting there and back and that, so yeah. That's the church. Rising sun, as I see again. And that's the bar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right, I'll end you at what we came at. Oh, he's just gone into the pub. Orange and blue tracksuit man. Right, take care everyone. Hope you all enjoyed what you've seen. If you do, please give it a like and a share. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the Church of St Bartholomew the Great. I have covered this one before, but with an older phone. And honestly, if you look back at the videos, I'll put the link on this one. You literally couldn't see anything here because it was so dark. Like, it's dark in here, and with my phone quality that I had, it wouldn't record. By Christopher Green, that image on the wall there. Benjamin Franklin, as you see there, was employed and will be in here in what is now the Lady Chapel, but was a printer's workshop after the Reformation. A lot of the church was turned over to other things. Right, that's your historical information dealt with. I will put some historical info on with this one anyways. Very nice piano. I now won't here because at Barking I'm well known and they let me play the piano there, but not here. I wouldn't dare, probably get thrown out. Exquisite Pain by Damien Hirst. It shows up much better quality now. Basically it depicts what happened to St Bartholomew. He was flayed alive, and that shows St Bartholomew holding his own skin. But bearing in mind that we're so near to the hospital, Damien Hirst has add a nod to that with using a scalpel, shown with a scalpel, and surgical scissors. But this tells you all about that. the font, and it shows up, I think, with this phone that there are weights to lift the font lid up and down with. William Hogarth was christened in this font, a claim to fame for it. Elizabeth Freshwater, late wife of Thomas Freshwater of Henbridge. Ouch, that was my toe. And this here, this bit, was so dark in my previous video that you really couldn't hardly see anything. I had to take pictures and brighten the pictures up so much just to give you a gist of what it was. The Mildmay's tomb, or Mildmay, I don't know how it's pronounced exactly, but he was a Puritan, and they don't normally like splendour, but Sir Walter and Lady Mary Mildmay, or Mildmay. Golgotha by Richard Harrison. Quality is so much better. I know I keep saying that, but it has surprised me like how much better the quality is. Edward Cook, a philosopher. And now what we're going to see is a very, very religiously important place. Because here, which is the Lady Chapel, and they've taken the signs down. There were signs there and there in my last video, but I do remember the one there was about Benjamin Franklin, and when this wasn't a chapel it was used as a printer's workshop, and that's where Benjamin Franklin learned his trade when he lived in England. But here is the only place in London ever said to have had a visitation from the Virgin Mary. So, here they are. Put them on the inside. I'd love to know if this organ works. As you know, I love organs and pianos and such like. As I said, behind there is a painting of the Virgin and Child. But as you can see, she's covered up at the moment. But if you look back on my page, Facebook, YouTube, you will see that from my last visit. I can't keep saying, wow, the quality is amazing, but wow, the quality is amazing. Bearing in mind that this particular bit of Smithfield is very noisy and busy outside, and with a lot of old places of worship, you go inside, it's one, because the walls are so thick, but two, it's the, the sanctity of the place over such a long time just makes for a very, very nice feeling. Lavatories, toilets in there. And this is the bit, particularly last time, that I couldn't record. Well, I did record it, but you couldn't see anything, because with my phone quality it was so dark. That's much better. One for the cabbies, the worshipful company of hackney carriage drivers. That's the grant of armorial bearings for them. The Royal Charter of Incorporation from the Queen with the Royal Seal on it. The Great Seal of England and the letters patent. I always tend to do around the side aisles first, and then the main body of the chapel, which is usually the most amazing part of a church or a chapel. I leave till after last. The colloquy. And if you're morbid, this is a morbid person's Mecca. Stone coffin. That's interesting. If you're morbid, like me. This is known as the Sacrament Chapel, where the Blessed Sacrament and the Host is stored there. That gets you up into the organ loft. Well, you can see everything pretty well this time, so very pleased. This is where we started. Now, pardon me, we're at the high altar, but here is the tomb of Prior Rahere. We'll see a little bit more of the history of Priory here in a minute. There's a notice board around the corner. Priory here founded the Priory of St Bartholomew and the hospital. Miracles were said to have occurred around his tomb, and in the days of pilgrimages, this is why these windows are here, because the pilgrims would climb up and touch, or lay rags or something on the tomb and take it away with them. Oriel window by Prior Bolton. And that is the Oriel window. And as they say, watch this space, because this will crop up again soon. And something historical and interesting, if you find that kind of thing interesting, what I'm going to be doing. I get that a lot of what I do might bore the pants off of some people, but hopefully some of you find it interesting. I know a few of you do. And the membership is going up on the page, so I must be doing something right. In Victorian times, they opened the tomb of Priory here, and someone, well, first I should say they found his body uncorrupted, not rotted away, hence why there's so much holiness attached to him as well. But someone took one of the sandals off of his feet, and ever since then, the ghost of Priory here is said to wander St Bartholomew's, angry that someone had disturbed his rest and taken his sandal. The sandal was returned by the person that took it to the church, because they had some terrible, awful luck afterwards. But I don't know if they put it back in the tomb with Priory here. And another spectacular organ, of course. Hello, Brandon. Can I call you back, mate? I'm live and I'm in a church. Alright, sorry, mate. I'll call you back in a minute, mate. Alright, bye. Love you, mate. Bye. Really sorry about that, everyone. I can't switch my phone off at the moment, you see, so... And we shall end our video at the tomb of the man who founded this place and the hospital. Take care, everyone. And last but not least of our St Bartholomew's the Great is the Tudor Gatehouse. This is one I've always wanted to get inside, but someone lives in it, so you can't be breaking into people's homes. First World War memorial, who fell in the Great War. Because don't forget, until the Second World War came along, the First World War wasn't called the First World War, it was called the Great War. And also called the war to end all wars, and unfortunately it didn't. Right, we'll see. Oh, this is the other thing, so I always forget to show these. All this hand-carved stuff and the architecture of these medieval places is very, very impressive. This gatehouse was restored in 1932 to the use of the church in memory of two brothers, Sir Aston Webb, RA, and Ed Alfred Webb, FSA, also of Frederick L. Dove, LDFSA, who worked together on the restoration of the fabric of the church for over 40 years. So, obviously, thanks to those men, we have still got this gatehouse and this wonderful church. And I'm exceptionally jealous that someone lived here. The amount of times I go by, I always try to see if the person that lives there comes out, because me, I don't give a shit. I will ask. I say, excuse me, like, sorry to be a nuisance, but you get onto the history of the place first, and once they know you're interested in the history, then sometimes nice things can happen. Sometimes you might just be told to fuck off. Pardon my language. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I'm in church grounds. Right. William Wallace. This plaque commemorates the funeral service held in this church for Sir William Wallace on the 700th anniversary of his execution at Smithfield Elms on the 23rd of August 1305. In 2005, thousands of Wallace fellow Scots walked from Westminster Hall to the Wallace Memorial at Smithfield, the final route along which Wallace was dragged to his death. A solemn service for Wallace then took place within these walls, led by the Reverend Alan Sorensen and the Reverend Martin Dudley, donated by the Society of William Wallace to mark the 10th anniversary of the funeral service on the 23rd of August 2015. And now we're going to go and see the William Wallace Memorial proper, and that'll be the end of it for this one. There are some people there, so we'll have to wait for them to move. It's getting busy-ish now, because it's Friday evening. The one good thing, though, with the restrictions being lifted and it being Friday evening, is while everyone's busy getting pissed and whatnot, I can jump on a bus and hopefully get home without being packed into a bus like a sardine can. Oh, Dr. Sorry if you saw that, ladies and gents. Now we have the William Wallace Memorial. A very brave freedom fighter. It was bloody wicked what they did to him. I don't like colonialism or taking other people's countries and saying, oh, this is ours and whatnot. And if people want their independence, they should be given it. Complete independence. And there we are. Happened a long time ago, didn't it? Poor man. But... And these are scars from the Second World War, from the bomb that I spoke about that caused so much of the chapel damage. Sorry. And we'll see some more of that now. This is all bits of shrapnel that smashed into the hospital when the bomb hit, and as you can see, it caused extensive damage. They could take these down and repair it, but this is part of the hospital's character now. Anyways, so we'll end you at the medieval gatehouse again. I'll go behind this man because he's recording and I've just walked in front of him, and I hate doing that. Because I do recordings myself, and if you are recording and someone walks in front of it, it's not... I mean, you don't do it on purpose, of course, but it ruins the ambience. Wait for Posh Pete to go by. There we are. That's it, ladies and gents. Hope you've all found today's viewings interesting. If not, tough shit. Take care. See you all soon.